Hello there, Libra. How are you today? Let's do a love reading for you. Today we're going to take a look at what you don't see coming in love. So here we go. Now remember to use your very best judgment, use your intuition as to how you're going to use the messages that's coming forward. All right, Libra, I do hope you're doing well. No issues this week so far. All right, let's take a look here. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Eight of Swords. So here we've got the issue of just that sense of feeling trapped, right? So you may be feeling as though you can't get out of a loop of way of thinking, or if you're in a current situation where you feel like, you want to leave, however, you can't because you feel as though you've got obligations or responsibilities, that sort of thing, and you're actively trying to figure out a way to really work the situation so that you can create the future or create the path for yourself. But know that, this is all in your mind, meaning that you are able to find ways to improve the situation, right? It's all about you removing the bindings off of you and seeing things because, you've got your eyes covered. So it's the universe says that, just take the mask off, take the bindings off, and watch what happens. All right, so your overall energy is that, you don't know which way to go because you are seeing so many options. As far as like picking the best choice for you, you feel as though you're kind of a little bit trapped there. And so this level of indecision is what's kind of spinning in your head and keeping you in the sense of, feeling trapped. This can also mean the card of like a victim mentality. And again, remember that has a lot to do with just your way of thinking. So you're not a victim, right? You're not a victim. This is about you realizing that, you have a lot more control than you know. Right? You have a lot more control than you know. So, okay, so with regards to the energy that's supporting the Seven of Cups here, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So this is causing you, this indecision here is causing you some difficulty in focus, right? Because your head's in the clouds and you're thinking about all of the different possibilities that can happen, different choices that you have, that you can't just pick one and, get focused. So in the recent past here, you've got a lot of passion. The Knight of Wands is all about, it's unfortunately, the Knight of Wands, though it's very passionate, it's kind of a rebellious, impulsive, and immature type behavior, but full of passion, definitely passion and charm. So you may have dealt with an individual here that's, this is what shapes your outlook on love. And if you dealt with somebody that's hot-tempered or immature, rebellious, that type of thing, that can, create a problem for you, because now that's why you feel like, wow, I can't get out, right? There's something about this individual that I really, really like, but I feel like I still need to stay, right? So, wow, look at what's coming your way in the near future. You've got the Two of Cups. So here it tells me that if you did decide whether or not you're going to stay, this is what's coming in your near future. Right? With all the passion, the choices that you have, this is what's coming in the near future as your Two of Cups, meaning that you are going to make a decision, and the person that you do end up with is someone that you see as your equal. And again, you may decide to leave this individual if you are no longer about that rebellious, hot-tempered life. You realize, sure, they're charming, but I can't be around that, right? It's just too much for me. It's not allowing me to be who I really am. And if I want something a little bit more stable, and look what you've got coming in the future here. Underneath it all, you want someone that's going to be stable. This is going to be the exact opposite, right? This is a very impulsive, very immature, hot-tempered, rebellious individual. The one underneath here, what you really want, is someone that's going to be stable. Now, the problem with these individuals is that they can be a little slow. So Libra, if you are expecting results really quickly, the Knight of Pentacles is not about speed. It's about being practical and reliable. Slow and steady wins the race. But these people are very committed and they're very patient. However, they can be a little on the conservative side and a little bit slow. So if this is what you're looking for, know that that's coming your way. Now, overall, the way you see relationship, as far as, your overall look about relationship, is that you feel as though there should be some sort of spiritual awakening, in that everything that you have gone through in the past should have awakened you. You should have found meaning, some sort of reckoning here, an awakening. And that's how you see it, is that, okay, if I'm going to start something new, what did I learn about the last relationship so that I can do it better this second time around or third time around, whatever, right? Love has no limits. But here you are really considering like, okay, if I go ahead and jump into this, am I going to show up as my best self? And I think that you also expect the other person to be, emotionally mature, spiritually awakened. And so you may get that with this individual here, right? Because they're a little bit more steady, they're a little bit more isolated, and they get a chance to like sit and reflect on things, right? Here you've got the Page of Cups, which universe is saying that, you need to kind of look at the situation, with some level of, innocence, right? Page of Cups, innocence, dreamy like, right? You don't necessarily want to give it all up, right? And lose that emotional connection with this individual. I know that you want to be practical and you want to set up your future and you want stability and long term, but don't lose that childlike romance, right? That focus, the thing that really kind of feeds your emotional needs and your heart, right? So universe is saying keep that alive within you. Now all around you, you do have a lot of conflict, and this might have been with the previous individual that you were with. And so this here is winning at all costs. This is like fighting to always win, right? Somebody has to be a winner, somebody has to be a loser. And so when you have a lot of conflict like this in your life, Libra, it really makes communication break down. So universe is telling you, you need to recognize your role in these conflicts, and perhaps you need to figure out another way to communicate, another way to express yourself, another way to get your point across, right? And because when you are with an individual that you're committing to, it's not about winning at all costs. It's about you both coming together for the same goal and the same purpose, right? Because you're both on the same team. There's a part of you here that knows, and well, if you don't already know, you have the power within. You can manifest whatever you want for your path, for your future. You can literally have the ability to create what you want as far as this bond and this union is concerned. So you can make it full of conflict, or you can have a lot of love, right? So don't turn your back on the new childlike, commitment, the initial part of like falling in love, that kind of wonder that you have for a person. You have the ability, right? You have the choice here. As the magician, you can create this or you can create this, Libra. Whatever you want, you will create. As above, so below. And so universe says, figure it out. If you want love and stability, you have the power in you to create that for your future. You don't have to stay here. Wow. And look at your outcome. Now, the Sun is the most powerful card in the deck here, and with the Sun, that tells me that you're going to have some clarity, you're going to have a lot of joy with this individual. That's what's coming your way, but you have to learn the lessons here, right? You need to make up your mind, and really, once you make up your mind, you need to commit, right? You need to stay focused. Love will come your way. You make a commitment with this individual that you feel is your equal, and someone who has been spiritually awakened, can understand the maturity in a relationship and lay down the grounds for something more stable and dependable in the future. Universe says, do not lose your sense of childlike wonder and love, that initial dreaminess to a relationship. You don't have to live in conflict. That doesn't have to happen. Magician says that you have this choice to lead you to this place of joy, harmony, optimism. Right? You see how it all ties together, Libra? I hope that makes sense to you. But I love the Sun card being a part of your outcome, because that has to do with success, optimism, happiness, all of the good stuff. Yeah, and here you're going to have to recognize the things that you're going to leave behind. And that is likely this conflict, this poor communication, holding grudges, things like that. Things that don't serve you, Libra, you need to let go of so that you can let the sun shine through and be the brightest card here. Let it be the brightest card in the deck. Yeah, and this is about giving, and building memories. This is about thinking about the past and learning from the past, nostalgia, that sort of thing. So this is again another one of those feel-good cards, right? And you're going to take a pause anytime you are in a situation where you feel like there's going to be conflict. You are going to take a pause and you're going to look at things from a different perspective, right? And and know what your common goal is, right? You see how the Hangman is right above the Two of Cups. You are going to work towards your common goal here, right? Which is union, which is understanding, bonding, that sort of thing. So don't forget to take a pause, see things from a different perspective. It's not about winning at all costs. It's about, working towards the same goal, because this is what you want, is joy and harmony. Bottom of the deck here, yeah, the Tower moment. So because something here has happened in the past, it was really very tumultuous, very fiery. You're here now learning your lesson. You've been spiritually awakened. The Tower card happens for you because it wants you to grow. It wants you to learn from the past. Okay, so let's take a look. Anything else here that we need to get advice for, universe? What advice do we need to give Libra? Too many cards have flown out. Let's shuffle some more. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, look at what you're building here. You're building a legacy. You're building stability, right? Dependability. I mean, this is the best card. If you are trying to build wealth and stability in a relationship, look at where it falls in the union and in that commitment, right? And it's time to let go of the things that don't serve you. You can't possibly continue to stay in this place of hurt and despair. It's over. You need to let it go so that you can enjoy all of this. This is the end of something, right? And you need to allow yourself to start something new. And with the Chariot card here, the Chariot is all about movement. It's about momentum, determination. I mean, it's a card of victory. Okay, so again, bottom of the deck, look at that. The world is your oyster. You can plan for whatever you want because you are the magician. You have a lot of momentum behind you, optimism and joy. Okay, Libra, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.